Hi, this is Marsha Gomes-McKee from Caribbean Books Foundation. Welcome.
Robert Gibson of Barbados will speak to you on demystifying the ISBN. We all know as self-published authors that the ISBN is a very important number to have for any book. Robert's information can be found on the site. He's the owner of Passionate Words Editing Services. He works on both fiction and non-fiction editing. He's a self-published author. Robert is the perfect person to guide you on the importance of the ISBN.
I welcome Robert as you talk to us today about ISBNs. It's a topic that I'm very much interested in. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, no problem whatsoever. My name is Robert Gibson and I own Passionate Words Editing Services. And we are here to demystify the ISBN, what it is, what do you need it for, if you need it at all, these kinds of questions. It is actually one of the most asked questions I get almost every day, almost every time I speak to someone, and they ask, okay, the first question they ask is, what are the costs of your services? Okay, we get past that. And then as we go into it and I say, okay, we need to talk about the ISBN. Oh, what ISBN? What's that? So let's start with that. ISBN, the International Standard Book Number. That's actually what it is. That's the acronym. That's what it actually stands for. The International Standard Book Number. Each and every one of you listening to me has in some way or form or fashion a national reference, a national number, a national recording number, a national reference number for your country, right? So it uniquely identifies you as a person who lives in that particular country, right? The ISBN does the same thing. The ISBN uniquely identifies each and every single book on the planet. So the reason for it is so thinking about it, if you take your book, and this is a shameless plug. This is one of my books I've written. Anyhow, we're not here for this, but this is one of my books I've written. If you actually want to see anything about my books, you can always contact me. But switching to the back, this right here, if you can look closely, I don't know if you can see it, but you bring light right there. But if you can look right there and see if you can look, there we go. See that barcode? You see that barcode? That is the barcode that represents the ISBN. Each and every single book on the planet should have one. And the reason for that is for distribution purposes. The people who distribute your books for you, or even if you're distributing your book for yourself, you need to be able to identify which book is or which book does well, which book may not do well, or what have you. So each and every book has its own ISBN code, and the code is unique. The next question people always ask is, do I need an ISBN for each book? Say this book, like I said, this book, Make It Rain, like I said, this is the paperback version. I have it also on Kindle, right? And let's say I wanted to do a different ebook. No, Kindle has its own proprietary setup, but maybe I want to make it as an ebook to go on a different platform, right? Each and every one of those has its own ISBN code. Same number, same book, but each one has its own number, all right? And the reason for that is simple. Think about reporting. You have released, or you've been extremely lucky. This is your first book, and you've sold 1,000 units for your first book. Congratulations. How much of those books have been paperbacks? How much are paperbacks? How many are Kindle books? How many are ebooks? How many are in whatever format you wish? Without the ISBNs, and without the ISBNs being specific to each version, you won't know. You will just have $1,000 as 1,000 units in your reporting, but you can't break that down any further. right? So each version having its own ISBN will allow you to know that you sold 500 paperbacks, you sold 300 hardback copies, for example, and and the rest are ebooks. So that means that most people want paperbacks, which means you can then make decisions on that. So more people want paperbacks. Let me put more of my marketing dollars towards paperbacks, right? Another question that I get a lot: publishing. Amazon, the Amazon site, Kindle desktop, Kindle document, then Kindle document printing, kdp.amazon.com, and you're uploading. It always asks. It says, "Do you want to use our? We can give you a number as well. You don't need the ISBN because this one's free. Let me generate a new number for you." Most people do this. Well, some people do this because it's free versus paying for an ISBN, right?
I think a lot of people use that. They use it free.
Yes, because it's free. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a reason why. Well, let's put it this way. When I first started working at Passionate Words and started to liaise with the ISBN office here. When I say here, I mean in the Caribbean. I'll switch back to that in a minute. I asked them this question. I said, many people use Amazon's free number. Is it legal, or should they do it? Basically, they said it's a proprietary number for Amazon, and it works because Amazon is a giant. But according to the corporate laws and everything, the laws dictate internationally, you should have a ISBN number from the official place, right? Is again, like I jokingly said off air, it's similar to buying real Air Jordans versus going to the guy at the back of the market and getting knockoffs. Because it does the same thing. Their code is called the ASIN. That's Amazon Standard International Number. But as you can tell, it is an Amazon interior number, right? But again, it works because Amazon is a giant. Everybody goes to Amazon first. But according to the it's kdp.amazon.com, right? kdp.amazon.com is the Kindle document printing. That's what you use when you're doing when you're uploading and self-publishing and uploading to Amazon's platform, right? And so you go through the process. They're very, very anal as it relates to technical specifications for your documents and all of this. But when it comes to you can put in one that you've bought, or you can use theirs. A lot of people use theirs, and there's no problem whatsoever in the sense that you can use it. It's not illegal, but the reason why it has been the reason why people use it, like, again, is free. But the reason why some people in academia and other places sort of look down on it, in a sense, it's not so much looked down on now as it used to be. But the reason why is because the book is automatically shown to be self-published. When you go now and you search for that number will always tie itself. It will always be tied to Amazon, because once you connect it to your book, it can't change. It will never change. So when you go now and you search in whatever way you find, you go and you search online or whatever the case is, it will always show up saying either Create Space, which was the name of Amazon's platform beforehand, or KDP. I honestly haven't checked in a while, but the fact is, it will automatically show as
being
created by Amazon. Why that is,
that's a
sorry.
good point, because I always tell people, remember Amazon would have bought that number and allocated it to you. So
Exactly.
there's something in there that I'm always wondering, because it's Amazon, the number is owned by Amazon and they're giving
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. They're giving it to you, but it's owned by Amazon. So therefore, when anybody searches for that number, they will see Amazon. They will not see your name.
So it's really
So if you
Amazon marketing is to push their sales.
Exactly. So if you want it, if you are interested, if you want to have focus on your own marketing, so when people search, they find your name, it is best for you to buy your own Amazon. The ISBN is we don't have, there are 5 satellite offices in the Caribbean. 6 if you consider the main one, which is the regional office in Guyana, but there are satellite. Where's my, okay, I'm looking for my mouse. There's one in the Bahamas, there's one in Belize, there's one in Jamaica, there's one in Trinidad and Tobago, and there's one in Barbados. Those are the we don't, in Barbados, we don't actually have our own, we don't no, I lie. We do have one, because there's a literal, we go to an office in Sky Mall to pay. Yeah, we have a literal office here. So there's an office here that we pay. Well, okay, let me explain. We don't have an office like the other countries do, but we do have some place where we pay. What actually happens is that in Barbados, the forms that come from the forms come from Guyana. Or I have copies of the forms. I will give the forms to my clients. The forms will then be emailed to Guyana. Then Guyana sends back an invoice, right? You know what? I think I have an invoice around here somewhere. Right. So Amazon actually provides you with a physical invoice. So this physical invoice, I then take to our office, which is the CSME unit office in Sky Mall, and then I pay for it there. And when I pay for it, then the money wires to Guyana, and then the email, then I get the list of ISBN numbers emailed. The ISBNs are emailed to myself or to the client. Because I'm usually doing it as their agent, they will email to me and then they email to the client.
Okay. We have a in Trinidad, we have an office at the National Library. So
yes.
They process it and everything, and it's very
right.
that you have to do a bank draft. They send it to Guyana, and the administrative office sends you the information.
Right, and the other offices are in Jamaica. There's one in Belize. There's another in Bahamas, and basically the same thing applies. They do the processing at their location, and you have a physical location in which to pay. The other countries would have to wire to Guyana directly and speak to Guyana directly, or you could contact Passionate Words and I will be your agent and I could do it for you. But basically that's basically it.
No office, you just contact Robert and Robert will do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I created Passionate Words, it was really and truly just to make things as easy as possible for people coming behind me. Well, not like it wasn't easy for me. I did 6 books all on my own, figuring it out. But for some people, it's a lot to handle and it's a lot to deal with. So I just found that, you know, if you could come to one place, I find a lot of people like to come to one place, have it all dealt with for them, and they don't have to worry about the details. So that's what we do. But yeah, so the ASIN is so like I asked that question specifically, and I was told that it is better for you to have your own. Now, for let's say for costs, we'll be using for clarity, and we're doing all over the Caribbean. I'll be focusing on US costs. You can always break it down into your own currency, right? When you sign up for the first time, you sign up and you pay a registration fee of $20 US. All right, $20 US is your registration fee. And let me see if I can pull up, because I usually tell people about here we go. Buying a single. No, I'll interrupt myself by saying that their website is hard to navigate. To be quite honest, it took a while for me to figure it out. So anybody who's listening to me who's actually in Guyana, or who might be listening from the regional Guyanese office, the website sort of old. Y'all can really do something with it to make it a little easier to navigate. I mean, really, it took a long time before I figured it out, and this is actually partly the reason why I chose to offer it as one of my services, because you could talk to me directly and I could deal with it because I've already navigated the website. Actually, no, I don't really need the website. I just email directly to Guyana and have that interaction. But the website itself is pretty old, and because of that, it took a little while to get around, which is, like I said. But okay, as I say, we're dealing with the costs now. So with the costs, you're dealing with $20 registration fee. If you buy one ISBN at a time, you are also going to be paying $20.
Okay.
So I usually tell my clients, we're not buying one at a time, because you're going to expense yourself unnecessarily. I usually tell clients to buy 10 ISBNs at a time. You can't buy 2, 3, or 4. You have to buy either 1, 10, 100, 1,000, or 10,000. So you are going up in those kind of increments, right? So your first, like I say, if you're buying your first one, you're buying at $20 US.
Okay.
If you're buying 10 ISBNs, you're buying at $50 US. You see what I'm saying? Because most people will want their book in at least 2 versions. You will want your book mostly as a paperback and as a Kindle version, right? And now, because the KDP allows for hardback books as well, you might want your book as a hardback copy. So you might want a special edition, which is hardback, a paperback version, and a Kindle version. And how much is that? That's $60.
Yeah, so you're already
you going past it, is $60. But $10, if you pay for 10 ISBNs now, you go for $50 US, and you get, and using this analogy, you use 3 of those 10, and you got 7 left back, and you pay less money than if you bought them all by yourself, all individually.
Okay.
100 ISBNs is for 300. You're buying at $300 US. Right? $300 US. 1,000 is for $700 US, and 10,000 ISBNs are for $1,500 US. Again, the same thing applies. It pays to go in bulk, right? You more than likely, these, when you go up to these larger numbers, it would be maybe a library, or the, let's say something like our Barbados Museum, the museum who might release their own their own you know, they produce their own books and produce their own magazines and stuff like that. So they may want their own numbers. So they may, that they don't, 10 is not going to be enough for them, you know, but they may not need as much as 10,000. 10,000 might be if you're going to a publishing house, or if you're preparing to become a publishing house yourself, and all of the things are under your imprint. Maybe that's why you want so much. But pretty much that's it in a nutshell. The ISBN is very, very easy. I can understand. I know that most people don't know what it is, but basically it is, as I said, it is a way to identify each and every book on the planet, each version of the book, and it is used for reporting purposes. Is used for people who are distributors of books. They will want to know how much books are sold, and, you know, and in what quantities and in what direction the books are going in. So this is what it is for. There's nothing wrong with using the Amazon ASIN, because even if you, I think even if you create, I'd have to check it out, but even if you create one, they might still put on their own ASIN. I'll have to actually check. But the fact is, you want that when people search for the number, it comes up in your name. It doesn't come up in Amazon's name. I mean, granted, if you don't really care, you know, it doesn't, it's not a big deal. But I know most authors that I speak to, once I explain this to them, they're like, no, I want this thing to point to me. I don't want it to be just you know, lost in Amazon. And the prices are there. I usually, the thing about it is that $20 is a one-time fee. That first $20 is a one-time fee. So once you pay, so for instance, in Barbados dollars, that is $70 US for your first time, which is 140 Barbados dollars. But when you exhaust your 10 and you want to go back and buy another 10, you're not paying 140 anymore. You're just paying that $100. You're just paying that $50 to renew. So that first $20 is only for the first registration, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. The forms are not difficult, but again, I find that I have to sometimes walk through questions. Oh, one thing about those forms, they always ask me, are you publishing your book? Or like for me, when they're coming into Passionate Words, they always ask, should I put Passionate Words name there or my own name? In my case, I'm telling you, I personally am not publishing your book for you. I am helping you. I'm coming alongside you. You are self-publishing. I'm just assisting you with your self-publishing. So if you are at the place where you're buying your own ISBNs, you can put your own name there or the imprint of your company there, right? I would not be putting Passionate Words there because it's not going to point to me. I want it to point to you, right? When they call it, so there are two forms. The one form is application for registrant. So you're registering for the block of numbers.
Yeah.
And the second form is, let me pull it out here quick. Let me ask that question. And the second form is basically you're applying for the register. You're applying. Let me do it here quickly. Like it to do.
And this, the ISBN, the ISBN that you're using, you could use it like if you're going to put your book on Barnes and Noble, if you're going to put it,
yeah,
that same ISBN all through. So
Yes, I believe so, because it is the book. That is the ISBN for the book. Yes.
yeah, so,
Yes.
so you don't have to go and get a free, because I don't think Amazon allows you to use their free ISBN anywhere else. I think I had somebody.
Right. No.
Yeah. So
No.
then
Once you connect it to that book, it is gonna connect to that book. So
if you
you
want to,
can't add it nowhere else.
yeah, if you want to go put your book on Barnes and Noble now, you'll have to get another ISBN. Well,
Yes.
ISBN over there, of course.
Exactly. So this is the other reason why we say, you know what, get your own. Focus, get your own and stuff.
Yeah, so you can anywhere you want.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to pull up this. I'm just trying to put this in here quick. It's still giving me still wanting to give me stress. All right, but basically speaking, there are two forms. I'm trying to pull up the forms here now, but my computer is wanting to embarrass me on internationally embarrass me. All right, let me see. Quick access, passionate words, and ISBN. There we go. All right. Right. So the application for ISBN registrant element, which is the application to actually to pay for the registration. So you're paying for the registration fee of $20. You're telling them how many ISBNs you want, right? You're giving your name. So this is the application for the registrant to become the registrant, to have the registration in your name. So there's one application for that, and then there's an application for the actual ISBN for the particular book itself. So there are two. The first one gives you your block of 10.
Yeah.
And then the second one chooses, let's say that you're using two of those for your particular book. So the second one takes, out of those 10, it takes two. You tell them, you take on the dotted line and you say, I want a Kindle version of this, I want a hard copy of this, and so they will then assign two of those 10 to that book. And then so that's what they do.
And what happens to the dates that you have there still?
You are given an Excel sheet with the 10 that you have bought. And then what they usually do, because if it is they actually fill out the first, like, again, if you're using two, they fill out the two for you, and so you see the other 10 there as blank.
Okay.
So this one I did not know, and so I had done all 6 of my books without ever informing the ISBN office that I was using this number. So one of the things that you need to do when you have assigned your book, when the book is live, the reason why they have given you this in an Excel sheet is that so you can fill out the Excel sheet with the books that you're chosen and email it back to them so that they could update their database. Because they need to be able, the regional office and the main office, I guess I think is in the US, needs to be able at any time to pull out and say which numbers are used and for which books, because that's what they do. They are the database repository for all these books. So if you don't tell them that you use the books, you will have the books up. The books will be assigned to you. The numbers will be assigned to you forever, but they won't be able to know that these books exist. So you need to tell them the books exist and say, I'm using this number for this book, so that they can update their records. I learned that not really the hard way, but it took me a couple of years. And it's like, it was after I started doing this for other people, it hit me like, wait a minute, I didn't do this for myself.
But in Trinidad, they don't give you the numbers.
They don't?
No, they give you pay for the 10 numbers. And when you want the 2 books, when you want 2 numbers, they send you 2. And when you want more, they will send you more. They
okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay. I didn't know that. I guess it's because we don't have an office here.
Yeah, I'm saying that maybe that's the difference because they don't, you have to actually say upfront, fill out the form. And if not, say the numbers don't expire, when you
No, they don't.
Yeah, they will say when you need it, we send it to you. And maybe it's because of that, because I don't think Trinidadians will look back and send anything. that is true anyway. We will not look back and we will not send anything back. So I think they have figured out because of the country. They said you have the numbers, we have the numbers, and when you want it, ask for it. So
well, yeah, I think it's because we don't have an actual office here. Yeah. Because if we did, they would probably do the same thing and just release the numbers as necessary. Because I'm sure that many people would be like myself or like the Trinidadians, as you say, and nobody can bother to send nothing back to them. I literally did not think about it. It did not come up. I did not think about it at all, you know? So, you know, it literally I only got into it as I became a business owner. And then I started actually interacting with them and I asked them a question and I said, oh crap, I need to send it back to you. Oh, sure. Well, let me do this now.
Send it back. That is true.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So if there's anything else that, you know, after you've listened to this and you want to ask, you can always contact me. My Instagram page has changed slightly. We won't get into all of that, but Instagram is a pain in the posterior, but we won't get into that for this today. But you can always contact me.
Yeah, send me all the updates so I can update the website, and we could always
I will
put the links in the comments.
Yes, I will. But passionate.words.editing246 passionate.words.editing.246 and the email has also changed slightly. It's Passionate Words Editing Services, the entire name of the company, Passionate Words Editing Services @gmail.com. I bought passionatewordsediting.com, the actual domain, but I have to still got to get a couple clients. I still got to get a couple more clients to be able to afford the website hosting so that I can put that on there. But that's basically where we're going to go. The next thing is the website. So we're going to go passionatewordsediting.com and you can, but that's in the near future. But right now you can contact us on Instagram, you can contact us on Facebook, Passionate Words Editing Services, or you can contact us via email. If you want, I will answer on WhatsApp, but I like to talk to people on WhatsApp after we've had our consultation via Zoom so that we are on the same page. But you can also contact me at 1-246-234-5669. So 1-246 is the area code, and then the number is 234-5669.
That's wonderful. I like that you have full service. Anything that self-published author, anything that you can think of, ask Robert. Don't think that he's not doing it. Ask Robert, and I'm sure he'll be able to help you.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much. Well, this was fun. I enjoyed it last year. I enjoyed it even more immensely this time. So looking forward to doing it again next year, and definitely looking forward to seeing the rest of the people in the panel in the video series coming on later on.
Yeah, because we have some new topics. I mean, last year I think it was only editing, but we have some different topics this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for all the information. And as I said before, reach out to Robert and he will help you with anything you need done. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember that the presenter will be available to answer questions in the comments. And if you would like to get on our resource listing, you can get us at our email at caribbeanbooksfoundation@gmail.com. Thank you again for coming. See you next week.